Day trading during the holidays can be very interesting, but I'm going to show you how exactly it can be done. So, if I go ahead and maximize this chart, by holidays as an example, FY, I generally mean the week of, say, Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas, the week of July 4th, and holidays like that, the bigger US based holidays. So, overall, with Thanksgiving as an example, since this just passed, this is November 27th, which is the day before Thanksgiving. So overall, here's the major supply zone at the top, which identifies the highest point of this specific day at 600.63. So we got that line plus the 10-cent rectangle drawn over that signifies the highest point of the day, if you're familiar with my strategy. Then we have the lowest point of the day where two candles agree, being at 599.82. So we got the line, the rectangle on top, drawing it over. FY, before I continue, if this doesn't make any sense, I say go ahead and go back to look at some of my more beginner based videos because I'm going to walk through this very fast and this shows the full strategy. But unless you looked at the detailed beginner videos, this is not going to make any sense. This is more for the people that are familiar with the strategy and etc. So I'm going to walk fast with this. So major supply zone on top, major demand zone over here at the bottom, and this line signifies 9:30 a.m. CST, right? 1 hour after market opens, when we generally go ahead and start trading. So if we flip back to that 1 minute chart, because of course we do our 5 minute chart for zones, 1 minute chart for entries, this is just what it looks like, just as a FY. So after this blue line is essentially where we would potentially trade. So ideally, what we'd want is we have this zone drawn. We'd want on the 1 minute chart for it to come back down or past this, it comes below this, come back up to tap it, and then run back down for potential option put. Or for it to come over here, come back up to hit in this area up here, boom, and then it comes back down. Or potentially, right, for it to be above this, come down, tap, and boom for option call. Whatever the case is, we need it to essentially tap the zone nicely and reject off of it, whichever way, shape, or form. So that's fine. But if we continue to scroll over, you can see, for one, it never came back to hit this area with it rushing down all day. So there was no play off of it. So if we go back to the 5 minute chart, and I'll zoom out just to show you everything, FY. This is that first zone that we had, and we came down here. It's like, okay, well, it never came back to hit it. It did make a new low of day, being at 598.68 over here for the second new zone. So we'll just have to redraw the major demand zone over here, and maybe we can wait for it to either retest, boom to the upside, or retest below it, boom, and then maybe it falls down. If we go to the 1 minute chart, to show you what it looks like. One, when it does come back over here to tap, it's not a nice CRCE, right? It's zone reversal confirmation. Maybe an entry, but even if you did enter on here, it's too far away from your stop loss, whether it be from here or here. So you don't want to take that trade for one. But for part two, this wick is really the main part of the issue. But part three, it's also in a downtrend, right? At least specifically at this point of the day, right? From 600 on down to where we were over here at 598, negative $2 of a move, right? It's going down. So you don't want to enter calls upward anyway, right? And again, FY, if you're still listening to this video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, pause the video, don't watch this, watch the beginner videos. I'm going quickly on a lot of this stuff intentionally for my advanced guys and gals here. So there's no call here, right? There was no, and then if you go on the flip side, if you see, okay, it comes down, it breaks below it, and we potentially have zone reversal, no confirmation, no real entry, right? So, and it's very ugly, so that didn't really work at all. I'll zoom in for you a little more. Goes up, it breaks above it, right? So there was nothing really there. So they had kind of the zone candle, reversal candle, if you want to call it a reversal candle, confirmation candle here, but then no real entry really formed below it. So then that wouldn't really be too much of a nice play to the downside. So there was one failed rejection here, two failed rejection here, three failed bounce here, failed bounce here. And we're thinking, well, it's been getting over here. So at that point, you may think this is a play, but it's not because there's a major demand zone that also formed over here on the bottom. So we have our third major demand zone is over here. And if, of course, as we do that, these zones are typically deleted at that specific point in time. So we don't need this, we don't need that. All we have at this point is this guy and this guy over here at 10:25 a.m. CST. And by this point, you're just thinking, okay, is there any trade? Am I missing something? Is things just falling? The direction's quote unquote obvious. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe I should just enter a put anywhere. And of course, you know how things are. If you did do that, you're like, I'll just enter it here. I don't care. Then it'll run up. So that's the last thing you want to do. You want it based off of a strategy. So if this is where, if we go back, right, this is the third area here. I'll circle it for you. If this is where that zone formed, then we have to go back to that 1 minute chart and say, okay, well, when it comes back around, tap and bounce. Maybe there's an option call in there. Wait a second, there's not. Okay, maybe there's a bounce push through, boom, tap it and run down. There's not on the 1 minute chart at all. And it just keeps going lower. Okay, is there another zone for the lowest point of the day? Okay, it looks like it's this guy down here. It finally made a new low of day before it started rejecting and bouncing back upward. So this is that spot. This is where the zone formed, came back around, did not come to tap it. Then it just continued to kind of run up. If I zoom out for you, run up the rest of the day, kind of retaining half of what it essentially lost, essentially for the whole, for that fourth new major demand zone. So as far as the answer to um, how to actually day trade on holiday based weeks, my answer is literally don't. Because a lot of the stuff like this is literally just not happening, as example, from here up to here. Because the volume, example, like if I zoomed in to go up to here for a put and then come down or to bounce off of it, these stuff is not happening because it's low volume for that week. Whether it's that or anything else doesn't matter. You want high quality trades. And if the high quality trade does not show itself to you of that specific day, the answer to how exactly do you actually trade on these weeks is you just don't trade those weeks. Because sure, you didn't make money, but in my eyes, you saved a bunch of money. Because technically, think about it this way. Let's say you made $5,000 last month trading. Just an example. Great. Well, if you're every day on this week of Thanksgiving trying to force a trade, 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 you can lose that whole $5,000.
If you're looking to become a consistently profitable day trader that makes $10,000 per month, then go ahead and visit mkuniversity.com/info to get started. We provide one-on-one coaching for 2 months, and that way we actually hold your hand and walk you to becoming successful with our specific day trading strategy, which is trading one strategy with one ticker and day trading once per day so you can be successful long term and actually take care of your family. And it doesn't matter where you are, by the way. If you're new to trading or you're an experienced trader already, but you're still just not consistently profitable as a whole, we'll teach you everything from A to Z from the ground up so you can be consistent, so you can be profitable, and more important, you can do the things you want to do, when you want to do them, how you want to do them, and not have to be trading so much. Because the goal when it comes to trading is to get your life back and to get your finances in order so you can do everything you want to do. And by the way, we already have 1,003 video testimonials from people that are already successful using this strategy that you've been learning in this video. So if you want to be the next person, you want to be number 1,004, then go ahead and click the link in the description where it says apply for coaching, and you can go ahead and get started. And now back to the video.
So, still, again, to regurgitate it, the way to actually day trade a holiday based week is to not day trade a holiday based week and you go live your life doing something else because the purpose of trading is to get your life back, not to work every day. This is not a 9 to 5. So don't come in here like this is your 9 to 5 from a personality perspective. Just because you don't trade that day doesn't mean you weren't successful.